So I don't know how everyone's doing on inspiration points, but would anybody like to earn an inspiration point and give us a summary of where we're up to at this point and what happened last session?
Was last session the fight with the Beholder?
Yes, but you know, just everything leading up to that. You know, the sort of a synopsis of the story so far.
Spark Notes version. And I'm awful with names right now, but
that's okay. You know, that's fine. You don't have to remember.
We went with the Lady Drow to figure out the cause of the missing drow who went out, and the resurgence in huge undead. When we went out there, we fought a lot of undead. Then I believe we fought a stronger undead who kept running away, and eventually we met a undead being who introduced us to a vampire who basically is like the thrall of Strahd and eventually will take over like the heir in a matter of a sense. And we agreed to work with this guy as long as we kill or at least get the Lady Drow on terms of bringing this vampire back with us, I guess more or less into the city, and letting things occur from there. However, when we told her we were gonna negotiate with this guy, we found out she made a simulacrum, brought him back. We brought her back to meet this guy, and then basically we found out it was the missing male drow who she wanted to kill, but I turned on her, and then thankfully the party didn't stab me in the back and assisted in killing the simulacrum, which she had no idea we did that. But basically we brought the vampire to her, the actual drow, and explained everything. She snapped her neck, and we built a coffin box. I believe one of our players, I forgot what class you are, bro, but he's gonna build he's gonna build already is building like a special box for her to contain her in the city where we're heading now. And on our way there, because she dropped and essentially died, one of the guardians of the area was activated, which was a beholder who we basically almost died killing, but we came out on top. I'm pretty sure I actually died and was revived or something, but yeah, so that's where we left off. And God,
okay.
If I'm missing anything, please.
Yeah, so I'll fill in the little spots. So just in terms of names, you guys are once again, you are agents of House Neirth, the ruling drow house of the Underdark city of Eryndlyn, which is where you're in right now. The matron mother of House Neirth, the head, is named Lythrana. She has not been around. Nobody actually knows where she is. She actually has been absent for many years. But in her stead, the ruling matron is first sister Malice Neirth. Malice is the drow that holds the sort of the contracts of all of your interests in working with the drow. Even none of you are drow, but the fact that you're working with drow, you have some sort of interest with them, and Malice is the one who holds your contracts. Malice sent you to go out and discover what this undead threat is, because there's a delicate balance of power inside Eryndlyn, where the Drow House is supposed to be the one that's in charge and holding all the power in the city, but there's these two cults, a cult of Gaunador, and this mysterious cult of the Ooze God. Hold on, I will bring this out. Yeah, I have all my notes, so...
I think I did pretty good for not having notes.
No, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yep. So, there's another cult of Veyraun. There's a cult of Galnador, which is the god of oozes. It's this mysterious cult that has been recruiting drow like crazy. And then there's a second cult, the cult of Veyraun, and this is the male drow god. And the male drows have been drawn to this cult because the cult is promising equal stature for men and women among drow, which is kind of blasphemy to Lolth. So these three cults have been kind of pulling levers of power, trying to one up each other for a while, and it seems like this there's something that's attacking, specifically targeting the Lolth cult, the drow house, killing drow war parties, and that's this undead menace. That's what you guys went to kind of get rid of. So when you went to investigate the undead menace, you eventually found out that the undead menace was indeed headed by the cult of Veyraun, and specifically, it's led by this drow named Triss. And Triss is a double is sort of a double agent. He is pretending to be loyal to the House of Neirth, but secretly he's one of the head members of the cult of Veyraun. And Triss has managed to discover this extremely powerful being by the name Soul Rivener, and she is, as you said, the spawn of Strahd, and she has this incredible innate ability to control undead just by force of will. She doesn't need to use magic or spells or animation. She just kind of is in tune with necromantic forces and can summon legions of undead, enough to overwhelm any foe. Because of how powerful she is, she poses a great risk. That's why when you guys went out, you were assigned with second sister Jezra, and Jezra recognized her as a threat, and Jezra just asked you to kill her. Or she killed her herself. But you were able to convince Jezra to bring the Soul Rivener's body. So you still have the Soul River, and you know that this being you can't just kill this being that easily. She can be brought back. So in order to contain the power, Daga has, as an artificer, has built a coffin, a magically wooded coffin, to keep her in place. And you now have the coffin with you as you return to Eryndlyn, and you return to the Temple of Lolth. As you spent about 3 days to kind of recuperate and re-equip. And as you get to the Temple of Lolth, Jezra meets you at the front door, and she says, Malice is awaiting you upstairs. And Jezra looks at each of you, and she says, remember what we spoke of. Now, you guys had kind of had a secret conversation with Jezra earlier, where Jezra has been telling you that her elder sister Malice is unstable. She is sadistic, cruel, and selfish, and she will not be an effective ruler, and she will ruin the House Neirth, and she needs to be deposed, but you need to find the right moment. Jezra, seeing how powerful you are and able to take down an Eye Tyrant, wants your loyalty, and she does not want you to give your loyalty away to back to Malice. So, in doing so, she has made you promises. She's asked each of you, and she's had kind of conversation with each of you, asked you what you wanted. You know, what is your real desire? And of course, the brothers Iron Fist, you want that dark anvil back. And Jezra tells you Malice she doesn't know if House Neirth has the anvil, but she knows that if they do, when Jezra becomes matron mother, you will have your anvil back, and Malice probably won't give it back to you. She asked Kargis what you wanted, and Kargis, of course, you want drow equipment, the equipment that only drow can have, and only those in the service of Lolth. It is actually blasphemous to give this kind of armor to anyone who is not a faithful of Lolth, and especially someone who's not even drow. But she says a matron mother can make an exception, And she comes up to you, Cargus, and she says, remember, when I become matron mother, things that previously were not possible could become possible. And she takes out of her her pack a beautiful adamantine longsword, and it hums. It hums with with kind of this drow alloy inside of it. Its hilt has this beautiful spider design, and she gives it to you. As you hold it in your hands, you notice that it's just perfectly weighted. It is not fully drow adamantine; it's an alloy adamantine, sort of like a.
You there? Ah.
You're dropping off, John. Can't hear you right now.
What's? Where did I drop? Where did I drop off?
You handed me the sword.
Yeah, so you take the sword in your hand and you admire its beauty. It is unique. It is not a fully fledged drow sword. It is an alloy of drow adamantine and adamantine. It was made just for you, commissioned by Jezra herself, and she's giving it to you sort of as a bribe for your loyalty. I will put this in your inventory.
You already have it in my inventory.
Oh, I do? Great.
Yep.
Dude, I need a bribe.
Well, she asked you what is it that you wanted, and the brothers Iron Fist uniformly declared that it is the dark anvil, the black anvil that you want. I don't remember, Daga. I don't remember what you had really wanted from the drow.
He wanted the drow herself. If you remember that.
You wanted Is that what you told her?
Yeah.
Yes. You don't remember that.
Yeah.
So Jezra is dressed in a very scant. She's very especially scantily clad tonight. You know, you're kind of admiring her dark drow beauty. She has like this micro bikini made out of spider webs.
Hey, if Baldur's Gate 3 taught me something, the change in whips are about to come out.
And she leaves, but as you just love watching her go. But as she leaves, she turns around and she says, it is forbidden for drow to be with any other than pure blood drow, but I may have certain access to a scroll of true polymorph that can turn any race to a drow, whether you're a dwarf, a pathetic surface human, or even a Smith Neblin. And she kind of gives you like a seductive smile as she walks off. So if that's what you told her you wanted, she is going to try to offer it to you for your loyalty.
Yeah, in essence, I just wish to serve her. So.
No, I think you should go for it, dude.
I think service.
The other, Durak, John, your mic is in and out as well.
That better?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, sometimes it's better if I just, every now and then I just leave the channel and come back just to refresh. I think it's because I speak more, obviously, because I'm running the game, I speak more than everybody else, and at some point, when you've used up a certain amount of bit rate, I think Discord just decides it wants to cut me off.
That's a possibility.
That's what I suspect, because I've been going through this mic issues for years.
Yeah, no, that's a possibility.
I actually had to go and buy an official SLR microphone and everything because my previous microphone was cutting off all the time.
I use the Razer Black Shark It works really well. The headset.
Yeah, my previous microphone worked, but then after like an hour or so, it just goes berserk, stops working.
Yeah, it's very robotic.
So I suspect at this point that because I'm the only one who has this kind of specific problem, I suspect it's because I'm running the game and I'm talking more than everybody else, and that's the only difference. Because I've gone through all the different mic settings, I've looked up the YouTube videos. I have no idea what the hell's causing it, but it's probably Discord specific.
Yeah, it's possible. Probably.
So you guys enter through the gates of Lolth's temple, leaving Jezra outside waiting for you. Clearly, she is very interested in your loyalty to her. Because and she has spent. It looks like she's gone the extra mile to gain your loyalty. So you kind of suspect. You don't have, just your insight kind of makes you suspect that she's afraid that your loyalties might turn on her. She walks off in her spider bikini.
Targets are just admiring his sword still. Doesn't really care what the other guys are saying or whatever.
You guys, as you guys walk up, you have this, Daga has fashioned this coffin. It's kind of floating, it's levitating, hovering behind you and following along. Inside is the young halfling, this halfling woman, a girl who's no longer a girl.
Yeah, the vampire.
Her name is Radhika, but she is also named the Soul Rivener. She looks like a girl, but is absolute, pure, unadulterated evil.
Undead?
She's absolutely undead. But more than that, she is a vampire spawn, and you can't kill her just by normal means. You have to go above and beyond if you want to end her existence. She still lies completely still, inert, because Jezra did break her neck.
Now, do we have an idea if she is either, how do I say this, obviously we know she's evil, but do we have an inkling if she's like chaotic or lawful?
If you were to categorize her, you would think that she's chaotic.
Okay.
I mean, I thought the deal we kind of made with, what was it? What's his name? Torn? No, it wasn't Torn.
No, you mean the guy, right?
Yeah, the guy.
Which guy?
The drow male.
Oh,
Yeah,
Triss.
drow.
So
Triss,
this guy, this gentleman over here, Triss.
Yeah.
So
Triss, no,
yeah, so the deal you made with Triss is that what Triss wants is he wants to bring down the entire house of Nearth, because he is a concubine. He is a very low. He's like pretty much a slave. His position in the house Nearth. The issue with him is that he is a very handsome, for drow standards, he's a very handsome drow. So in the past, he used to be coupled with the third sister. The third sister no longer is around, but her name was Chazelle Nearth. And he and Chazelle were a couple, but Chazelle was also extremely beautiful, and because they made such a good couple, that made Malice very angry. Malice banished Chazelle, accused Chazelle of treachery. You're not sure what Chazelle did, or whether or not these are real, or whether it's just because Malice was angry. But once Chazelle was banished or possibly killed, Malice took Triss as her personal concubine. So Triss is nothing more than a man whore being passed around by the drow sisters. So naturally, he doesn't want to live like this. So what he did is join the cult of Veyrun, which is a male evil drow god, which promises more of a position for males in drow society. So he has just this utter hatred for the entire House of Neirth and wants to bring it down. But in the same time, he's still pretending to be the good concubine of Malice. As a matter of fact, she is pregnant with his child.
Malice is?
Yeah, Malice is pregnant. Right now, she's presently pregnant with his child. Child can come at any moment. And Malice is very happy with this because Malice is going to secure her position and her heir. Because Malice is convinced that this child is going to be female. She already knows, and she's going to secure her position as the matron mother. And also secure an heir.
Now, is he aware of the incoming baby?
Of course. Malice is visibly pregnant. I don't know how long drow gestate.
I mean,
like humans gestate 9 years, drow maybe like 9 months, but drow maybe like 3 years or something because of their lifespan. No, but she is visibly pregnant. Everybody knows.
Okay. No, I meant because he's been MIA for some time. Obviously,
actually, he hasn't been. He actually goes back and forth in secret.
Oh, okay.
He told you that he has some sort of teleportation device that brings him to the Soul Rivener's cavern.
But he wanted us to kind of stash away the Soul Rivener.
Yeah. So his plan, with your assistance, is that you guys play the field. You pretend to support Jezra in overthrowing Malice. And then once you overthrow Malice, then you turn on Jezra, and you bring down the entire House of Neirth.
So why don't we just let Malice... And this is obviously just throwing this out here. Why don't we just let Malice use the girl? And because she probably would. We talked about that. She probably would. And in that case, we wouldn't have to fight anybody. We would probably just, if we flaunt the idea of, hey, there's this powerful being that we took, because she's going to ask if we're obviously going to talk to her, which I think you said we had to. I would assume she's going to be like, what's in the box? What happened? A debrief, in a sense.
Oh, yeah. Malice expects you to tell her everything. Obviously, It's your choice what you want to tell her. And what you want her to what you want to believe, what you want her to believe. Well,
I'm saying it probably wouldn't be a good idea to get caught in a lie by her.
No, obviously not. Malice is very unstable. She will not.
She's unhinged as fuck.
She won't think twice about sacrificing you to the Spider Queen.
Yeah. So, with that being said, it's a win-win either way. If you want damnation for the House Neirth in terms of letting this undead thing wreak havoc, because if she wants to use it, obviously she's gonna think she's using it, but I mean in actuality this thing's gonna be using her.
Well, Malice doesn't know, and he doesn't need to know it's a all-powerful being. We can just say we brought back our evidence of this is what was in the
Sure, I mean however we want to word it. I'm down with whatever you guys want to do.
Whoever's the face of the party needs to...
Yeah, so Triss tells you that this being, Radka, the Soul Rivener, this being thinks that Triss is her father, and she kind of treats him like a father figure. So... ultimately, he says that he's going to be able to convince her to do whatever he needs. So bringing her here is exactly what he wants. So that'll give him an enormous amount of power, because if she is unleashed, then she will listen to him, and that could tip the scales and bring down House Neirth. But right now, an open conflict would be very dangerous. just to go ahead and try to attack Malice would be very dangerous. So he's he's hoping that you guys will use will play the fields both sides, play one against the other until they both are weakened, and then when the time is right, the entire House of Nearth will be overwhelmed with undead.
Now, obviously, how well do we know of Malice? I mean, you said two things.
Well, everybody knows Malice. They know Malice to be absolutely sadistic and horrible and selfish.
Does she fight, though, or has she fought?
Yes. They're all the drow matrons are powerful divine spellcasters.
So the matrons typically favor spellcasting over hand-to-hand combat, from what we know.
The matrons are high-level clerics, so they can do both.
Okay. No,
But that's just her alone. The matrons are never alone. You're going to have to fight. Yeah, if you choose to fight one of the drow matrons, you're going to be fighting her entire contingent. So it's not like we're gonna be going against a high-level priest. No, you're gonna go against her driders, her army. So it's not, open conflict with a matron is a very dangerous prospect, especially inside her own house.
Yeah, definitely.
It would be absolutely ludicrous to attempt an assassination on a drow matron inside the drow temple while she's at full strength. But if you start pulling levers of power, you start weakening one or the other. You might find opportunities start opening up, and that's what Triss hopes. Triss right now is still pretending to be a very loyal concubine, and he's actually present somewhere right now.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready to go in.
Okay, so you enter the Drow Temple, and of course, right before you lies the altar to the Spider Queen. Often, this is the first thing that greets everybody who walks in. A massive spider made out of this shimmering Drow adamantine greets you as you enter, and all around you are altars with spider eggs inside of them, unhatched spider eggs. And the entire place is lit with this kind of eerie, arcane purple glow. The first lady, you've been here before many times. The First Lady Malice's quarters is upstairs.
So let's get our story straight, guys. This is the creature that killed that was generating things. We were able to kill it. I think we want to try to actually walk out with it. I mean, not tell it about its power, because Malice will actually try to use it or something like that, but I think we sneakily hold on to it if we can and use it for ourselves.
I'm not necessarily opposed. But if she attempts to use it, obviously, I think we can understand that she's the one being used.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Otherwise, where are we gonna store her?
There is the catacombs beneath the temple, which is where the Drow typically would store something like this.
Yeah, but she would be trapped in there, no?
That's the idea. Right now, Jezra wants this thing contained.
Which would be a good idea to contain her, essentially, from what I understand.
Yeah. The issue is that this thing possesses an astronomical amount of power, and even though Triss says he can control it, you guys are not really sure. This is a demon lord level of power that you're not sure that anybody can control. So
when you say that, are you talking like Strahd's level?
Well, this is the spawn of Strahd.
Strahd's daughter.
Yeah, this is the spawn of Strahd. So with that much power,
yes.
you don't know what loyalties this being has. So so you have to decide if you want to risk this kind of power or contain it and get rid of it. You have to. You also have to decide how much you want to tell Malice.
Brother, what do you think?
I don't. I say she could be a good ally. We don't want to tell Malice Jack shit.
Okay.
All right. So you guys head down the corridor. The whole thing's mapped out. I can just fast travel you over to the quarters.
Okay.
Instead of you having to explore the entire Drow Temple map. Alright, let me fast travel you. You guys head down the corridor, go up the winding staircase, and you end up right in front of the door to Malice's chambers. So these doors, not only are they standard stone, very strong stone doors, but there is an enchantment, this spider webbing type enchantment that acts sort of like a wall of force, so you can't break through the doors. It's an extra layer of security. So Malice is in here. This is a sort of a meeting room. It's not her like personal bedroom. It's more like the meeting room. And this is where you're expected to meet her.
Is there like an arcane lock in a sense on the door?
More like a wall of force. A lot stronger than an arcane lock. Oh, arcane lock you can dispel. A wall of force you can't.
Okay.
The drow are very very big on security.
Is it open?
No.
Is it something that I could knock without getting hurt?
Yes, of course. As you get up to it, there's a little spider scarab, and you put your hand on the scarab and it lights up. When the scarab lights up, whoever is inside knows that you're here. And as you do so, then you see the spider web retreats from the door, and the door slowly slides open, revealing Malice and several guards. Oh, you. Yeah, so
on purpose.
yeah, no, I know. You clicked it, and then it got unclicked, and then it got clicked again.
Is this yeah, I don't want to step on the table. Are you guys coming in, or am I just going in here?
Can't really see where. But yeah, it's coming in.
Oh, I don't mind working for her. No.
You already are working for her.
I know, but
No, but you got to be careful. The drow are very beautiful, but they are also, the power dynamic in drow society is turned completely upside down. They already have all the power over you as it is. To have on top of that the power of beauty over you, you're just completely their slave.
yeah.
Like in regular human society, you know, women have less power, but they're beautiful, so that gives them power. But in drow society, it's just they have all the power in general. So as the four of you enter, there are some open seats for you, and Malice kind of just nods her head to motion that you may sit down. I would like all of you to roll a perception. As you look around, she has 4 guards of some of her most elite guards, powerful drow fighters. 2 of them are at the door behind you, and 2 of them are by her side. And Malice is sitting back. I'll accept these rolls, but in the future, these kinds of rolls got to go in the tower.
Okay.
So You notice that Malice is really pregnant. Like she is about to burst, kind of pregnant. In human months, it's 9 months. She's sitting there and she's kind of hoisted herself on the back. She has her chair custom made so it can accommodate her. And you can see that she's visibly a little bit uncomfortable because of her pregnancy. And she kind of winces a little bit. You think that she's having contractions. Like, it's not long for this baby to come at this point.
And she's the one we need to take out, correct?
Well, it depends on what you guys choose to do. She's the one that Jezra and Triss want you to take out, of course. You guys technically serve her and have contracts with her. What you do and who you take out is up to you. That is your player agency. I don't tell you what your players, who you want to side with and who you want to kill. But she is presently the head of this drow house that you serve. The actual head, the matron mother, has been absent for many years, and nobody really knows where the matron mother is. So Malice says, so you return, and I hear you bring good tidings.
Yes, oh, malevolent and beautiful leader. We bring back great news. We've destroyed the undead that have plagued our caves.
She smiles. Wonderful. So I still need one more perception check. Daga.
My computer, my fantasy grounds crashed, so I manually rolled a 17 on the d20.
Okay, so I will both Thaurik and Daga, the two of you. You notice that there's something odd going on because behind Malice, there is a big tapestry that has been put up, and the tapestry has the symbol of Lolth, symbol of the Spider Queen on it. You notice that the tapestry kind of flaps a little bit, even though there's no wind. Do you say anything?
Do we say anything?
Oh, do you make mention of it? Say anything? You guys, your keen perception has made you notice that the tapestry sitting right behind where Malice is sitting has moved a little bit.
I mean, I'm not gonna
ability to run up on it.
You could, but you gotta know where you are. Malice is sitting right there.
Yeah, if you ran at her, her guards probably are gonna think you're trying to attack her.
Yeah, it's a very tense situation. Anytime you guys are put before Malice, it's always a tense situation. Malice is known to just sacrifice people to the spider god for absolutely no reason whatsoever, just because she doesn't like the way you look. So she bids you continue with your report.
I point to the curtain and I say, "Ward, there is somebody in the curtain."
She startles for a second, and then she turns around and she sees nothing, and then she goes to the guard right next to her, and she asks, she kind of nods at him to check it out. So that guard, the one with the springy hair, goes backwards. He kind of takes out his sword and starts poking around the tapestry. He looks at her, and he just shakes his head, nothing. And Malice looks at you angrily. Don't waste my time. Continue before I lose my patience.
Your Majesty, we have encountered many undead. However, they fell to our blade and spells. We also defeated an eye tyrant.
Yes, I have heard of this. Now, what has caused these undead? Have you found the source and eliminated it?
Yes, we have.
Tell me.
There was a undead creature of a lot of power, and we brought it back to out of character. Jazir, what's her name again?
Jezra.
Jezra. Okay, all right, back in. And we brought this creature back to Jezra, where we destroyed it.
She destroyed it. I mumble.
Destroyed it, you say? If it's so, this creature describe this power to me. What is the nature of this incredible power? And when you say incredible power, her eyes light up, like sort of like you're offering a girl some chocolates.
It was able to control the undead as a hive mind, in a sense,
Really?
similar to the Ithalids.
Not only control, but create.
She says, and you destroyed it?
It was
It's too powerful.
too powerful.
To be controlled.
Too powerful to be controlled. Who are you to determine that? She says, but you wouldn't have destroyed it on your own. It must have been Jezra. I shall have a talk with the second sister. Did you guys bring the coffin up here?
What? It was child size, so it would have fit in my bag of holding because I have quite a bit of space left in there.
So
yeah.
So are you showing her the coffin, or are you just keeping it?
I asked her permission if she would like to see the coffin.
Oh yes, of course. Show it to me.
Shwamalama ding dong. I pull it out of my bag.
And she says, "Open it."
I do as instructed.
The coffin opens, and you see the dead body of Radka. She even in in her kind of like pregnant medical state, Malice still kind of is able to wield this incredible dark divine energy, being the chosen of Lolth. And she raises her hand, and you can see strands of magic kind of go over and envelop this creature. And Jezra, like, she looks like she's having like this thrilling. She looks like she starts looking excited and thrilled. The power I feel in this being, incredible. She raises her hand, and Radga's body raises up. And Jezra starts whispering.
Or Malice.
Malice, I'm sorry. Malice starts whispering a spell, and you see that the body begins to reanimate. Malice casts resurrection on Radka, and Radka just wakes up again. She opens her dark, evil-looking eyes, staring at Jezra. Malice. Ugh.
You're throwing me off here, John.
I throw myself off sometimes. And while you guys are looking on, Malice is whispering something, and so is Radka. But it appears that they are having a telepathic communication, and they with outside of your ears, like they are talking to each other. Both of them appear to be in some sort of convulsive trance, and you guys are just kind of sitting there watching. And then they kind of break out of it, and then Radka opens her eyes and begins to speak. Are you going to be my new mommy? And then Malice says, I prefer to be called mistress. And Malice looks at all of you, and she says, you have done exceedingly well. With this power at my fingertips, I will be the uncontested ruler of Eryndlyn. She says the rest of the cult will All of a sudden, we roll initiative. So, the first thing that acts, an assassin comes out of invisibility. The first thing you see is a dagger slicing across Malice's throat.
Is Malice considered a ally to the party?
That's up to you. You're the party. Oh, this, This dagger is coated with an astronomically deadly poison. Malice then does a Constitution save, which she succeeds for half of this second round of deadly astronomical poison. And then this the assassin takes a second attack. The second attack actually misses. Once the assassin goes, the surprise round is not over, however, because you realize that one of Malice's guards are going hostile, and they attack you. This guard, Malice's guard number 5, comes up to Kargas. Kargas, you are completely unawares as this guard is going to try to rip your face off. He does he attacks 3 times with a scimitar.
Three.
You can't be surprised. Oh, I'm sorry. In that case, if you can't be surprised, then please take your turn. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. Kargas, you turn around and you see that Malice's guards draw their weapons and attack. So they are all hostile to you.
I was like, I thought I was trying to remember if I was surprised. And then I think one other of us is also can't be surprised for some reason. But anyway, seeing that one of these guards comes to attack me, or make a move to attack me, I will go and attack this guard, saying, "Well, what do you think you're doing?" And I will attack it with this brand new sword I got. That's it. One twang.
Proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. Huh.
What was that?
No, I'm talking to myself, sorry.
And then that will be it.
That's it for your turn? Any bonus actions?
I believe so. Yes. That'll be my turn.
What is
Okay.
your race or class?
My class, I'm Rune Knight.
Okay.
The guard returns attacks against you, but since you're not surprised, no advantage. Oh, I'm sorry. Why did he roll with advantage anyway?
I have no idea.
Please allow me to re-roll that. I don't know why he has advantage right now. He shouldn't. That is 1 miss. 1 second miss. Third one is gonna hit you. His scimitar has a deadly poison coating on it. 26 points of damage. Malice's guard number 4 is gonna turn around and turn on his master Malice, and he has advantage.
Is there a save to the poison?
No, this is a poison damage type. It's not a poison effect.
Okay.
First attack's a hit. You guys realize that Malice is about to be assassinated. And what you want to do is up to you. That's a second successful hit on Malice. Malice does not. She being a carrying child is in a weakened state. Doesn't look like she can take much more of this. With a dagger slicing her throat, and her guard turning on her, slicing her up. That's a third hit. Malice is almost dead.
And Radka's in the room, awake?
Yes, but Ratka's not taking any actions. Ratka doesn't even seem to care.
Okay.
So this guard is going to come in, and he's going to get between Daga and Durak, and he's going to attack both of you. You guys are surprised, so he's gonna do a little bit extra. 2 attacks on Durak and 1 on Daga. Scimitar on Durak. Oh, that advantage is nasty. Second scimitar on Durak. At least he didn't crit. And finally, he's gonna save 1 final attack for Daga. And then finally, where is the guard with the springy hair? Oh, that guard didn't go. I'm sorry, Daga, you're not up yet. The guard with the springy hair has not gone. And that guard, I believe, is going to kill his mistress. Malice goes down. She's rolling death saves because she's a prominent MCC. But you know what? This guard is going to continue attacking her because his intention is assassination. He attacks with advantage. Any hit is a automatic crit with 2 failed saves. Oh, and he misses. Wow, Malice got lucky there. Daga, now the official rounds begin, and Daga, you are first in initiative. You turn around and you see that Malice's guards have turned and are attacking both Malice and you guys indiscriminately.
I yell out, Radka, ward your mother. And I will attack this guard, the brainless chortle. I'm gonna go ahead and see how good they are. I'm gonna take a -5 to give myself a +10 on damage.
Very good.
Since I'm using my pike. Ooh, nice.
Most definitely a hit. 22 points of damage.
Did not apply. Oh yeah, did apply the 10. Good. Okay. And my second attack, I'm going to come in at the same. I don't know if these effects drop after I attack. They should. So I guess I have to keep touching them.
That one doesn't get him. These guards are highly trained, wearing drow adamantine armor.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Back.
Alright, I went to rage.
Radka have any reaction when I told her to ward her mistress? Her mother?
Well, it's I don't,
look. Any look difference?
Radka turns to you slowly and smiles.
Yeah, fucking.
I'm sorry, that was no good. That roll was just trash.
That was trash.
With a plus 11, you still can't hit this guy. Oh my goodness, a 2 and a 3. I can't help you there if you're gonna roll a 2 and a 3.
That's my turn.
Any bonus action?
I raged.
Alright, Malice is up. She's going to roll a death save. She succeeds on 1 death save. She can do nothing else. The assassin, now that it has accomplished its task, you see it fades, it disappears, casts a spell, and fades away. But the Malice's guards are still attacking. Thalric, you're up.
Alright, I'm going to bonus action, spiritual weapon.
Very well. You can drop that token on him, yeah, if you want.
I don't know what...
There's so inside your the action for spiritual weapon, if you expand it, there's a token there. You can drop that on the board.
Yeah, I tried to.
There you go.
It is.
There you go.
It's
I don't know
helpful.
what the hell.
It's helpful because it shows where your spiritual weapon is.
Okay, I didn't mean to put it there.
You
I'm
put it
just
where,
trying to
yeah,
drop
you
on.
cast it wherever you want.
So I'm casting it here, and it can attack this round. So I'm going to use that. Where is it? To attack him. 4. Alright, miss. And I'm going to shoot a... What level spells are I'm going to shoot a level 4 guiding bolt.
You can only cast cantrips because you cast a spell with spiritual weapon. So the
Really? I can't even attack with the weapon?
You can attack with a weapon. Remember, when you cast 2 spells in one turn, one of the action spell has to be a cantrip. Because you cast a spell, you use the bonus action to cast spiritual weapon. So if you do that, then if you use an action, it has to be a cantrip. If you cast a spell, attacking doesn't count.
Okay, and these two obviously aren't within 5 feet of each other, so yeah, I'm just going to attack then.
A 1 is going to give you absolutely nothing.
Alright, well, that's that. Because I don't have my, the Warhammer you made, right, Daga?
Thalric, did you go up to him to attack him, or did you, like...
Yeah, sorry.
Alright. Because this guy's going to jump on the top of the table and attack you.
Okay.
But no longer has advantage now that the surprise round is over. He's going to do regular attacks with a scimitar, trying to chop you down with deadly poison. That's a miss. That one's going to connect. Luckily, you're a dwarf.
Yeah.
You resist some of that damage, and then he comes at you with his 3rd attack. Which is also a miss. No healing of Malice, I guess? She's not dead, she's rolling death saves, per se. Kargus, you're up.
Before I kind of attack, I'm going to yell out, "Why are you guys fighting us?"
They look at you, and it appears that they've lost their minds. They are not even communicating with you. Their eyes go blank. So there's some force controlling them. They are not themselves. That's part of whatever assassination attempt this was. It was really intricate.
And I will go ahead and attack this guy.
That's a hit. That drow adamantine's working real well for you.
Yep.
Oh
And what
no!
type of weapons? What type of weapons are they holding?
They are holding drow weapons. Similar to what Kargus is using. Coated with poison.
I'm definitely gonna grab one, if possible.
You'd have to do it secretly. You're not supposed to have them. So you can if you survive this, you can try to, before anybody else shows up and sees you do it. You can try to sneak one.
Well, I mean, he's got one walking around.
He was given one because that's what he asked for.
No, I know that, but
Yeah.
that was by her, right? So other people would have an issue with that, no?
No, these weapons are actual full drow adamantine weapons. His is like an alloy that she specially made that kind of don't violate the rules.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is that it, Kargus, for your turn?
Bonus action, I will invoke my storm room, which puts me in a process state for a minute. As a reaction, I can make creatures reroll some of their roll at advantage or disadvantage. So.
All right, this guard you've nearly killed, but he's gonna come back at you because you haven't finished the job. He attacks you 3 times with his scimitar. He misses. He misses with a nat 1. But that last attack was almost a crit on you. Luckily, you're also a dwarf. And then we got 2 more guards that have to act. Guard number 4, right on Thalric.
Stop hitting me.
It's the dice gods that are hitting you. I'm just rolling them. That one misses. That one's gonna hit. And then finally, there's one last guard that is between Daga and Durak, and he's going to do the same thing, splitting his attack between you two. 2 attacks for Durak because you're beefier and you need more attacks. Durak, you're resisting a lot of that by raging.
I'm resistant to poison too, so...
Exactly, you're resisting the damage and the poison. And then 1 attack for Daga. So you guys, at this point, you've caused so much commotion that you hear shuffling all about. That there's the other forces on this floor are running up. You think in a round or 2 they're going to show up. Daga, you're up.
If someone has thaumaturgy, you should yell in a booming voice, they killed her.
Cast haste on myself.
Remember, when the other drow forces show up, everything's going to be seen. Right now, you guys are alone with Malice, and of course these crazed guards. Nobody would know if you guys ended Malice's existence right here, right now.
But nobody would know if we're the ones who did it ourselves either.
Exactly. So that's another choice you can make. Because you know that when the other drow forces come, they're going to resurrect her. Even if she dies.
Well, I mean, I could resurrect her too.
Yes, of course, but you can make sure that doesn't happen right now. You chop her up into little bits. Yeah, there's no more of that happening.
I mean, you mean if I flame strike her corpse or something?
If you destroy the body, whoa! And he hits he rolls a critical hit. Very nice.
Fuck, what if I animate dead? Oh my
Okay, it's Durak's turn, and Durak scores a critical hit. You're scoring crit after crit here. This guard is not going to survive your crit.
Alright, so I have a question here.
Yeah.
Get two brutal critical dice rolls. So I guess I roll my normal damage on him, and then I got to go down to the.
It will automatically give you crit damage. Fantasy Grounds should do that.
Okay.
You chop this guard in half.
Is he dead?
He's gone.
Alright, because I think that's supposed to happen also to him.
Yeah, well, he's dead.
The problem is that he is so dead that brutal critical is just what it's gonna do is it's going to clean chop him in half.
Fine, if I move up to this guy. And that'll be my turn.
All right, Malice has another death save to roll. That's another success for Malice. Thalric, you're up.
Oh, wow.
What were you trying to cast?
Blight.
What?
Oh, that
So he's supposed.
does it. That's
What?
not even. That's half damage at least. I think if he
Yes.
saves. Yeah. Still hurts.
So-
Still hurts.
Is that the half damage though?
Yeah.
Okay. And
And your weapon.
yep, I'm doing that.
That will be a hit. You didn't have him
I don't
targeted.
know why it untargeted him once it went through.
Maybe the blight did something when he saved. I don't know. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why.
Okay.
All right, Malice's guard with a spongy hair. Springy hair, not spongy hair. He turns around and engages Durak. Durak clearly is a bigger threat. I don't know why he's not. Is he supposed to have disadvantage?
I gave him disadvantage. I
Okay.
didn't wanna-
Well, even with disadvantage, he still rolls a hit. But
16?
Durak is raging. So you're gonna resist everything he throws at you. Rolls a second attack, which is also a hit, but you're also resisting everything. And then a third attack on you.
Jesus Christ.
That's a hit, but you're barely dented. Your rage has made you into a adamantine golem here. Kargus, you're up.
Kargus is gonna deal with the guy right next to him. His longsword. Hit. Still not going down yet. There we go.
He's gone.
Quick! They killed Malice!
No, don't say that. Somebody go outside the door and stop the guards and tell them that she only wants to see Jezra. Don't let anybody in. She requests Jezra.
Well, the problem is with the fighting has caused a lot of commotion. You're gonna have to really
That's what I'm saying. Somebody Somebody down by the door, go out there and don't let anybody in. Tell them she's requesting to see Jezra. I'll go to hell out there.
All right. That's a.
And I still got one more attack. There we go. And then that will end my turn.
Malice's guard number 5. Just got Thalric to attack. Rolls his scimitar dice. That's a miss. Oh, I'm sorry. He crits you.
That's alright.
And since this is regular 5th edition, he's going to do his crit damage. Which you resist the poison damage, which is the important part. But the 3rd attack is a miss. And this guard is dead. I'm going to take him off the combat tracker. We are back on top of initiative. Daga, you're up. You can hear that the footsteps are getting really loud. They are coming from down the hall and up the stairs from every which direction. Reinforcements are going to be here by the at the beginning of the next turn, you think.
As I am hasted, I'm going to grab that guard's scimitar and throw it into my bag.
You jack the drow adamantine scimitar.
And then I'm going to go over here. Is the door currently closed or open?
The door is closed. It was closed when you guys came in. You can open it. There's a little spider thing next to it. You just have to touch it, so you don't have to use an action or anything. So you can open it as a free action. You don't have to spend anything.
Don't let the guards in. Request Jezra to come here.
Yeah, I don't know that that's going to work. We're outsiders.
Well, either way, it ain't gonna work because they're gonna think we killed her one way or the other. So the best.
Yeah.
Tell them that she's still alive. That she's requesting Jezra.
Yeah, I'll just close the door because right now it's closed unless you can choose to open it.
Is that wall of force up?
Yeah. When it's closed,
Okay.
this whole place is sealed. That's part of the security. Whoever did this assassination has obviously been planning this for a while because they somehow have been able to control the guards and been able to phase into this room. That original assassin that cut Malice's throat, that assassin is completely gone in a puff of smoke. A robed figure, the face you could not see because it was completely covered up like a ninja. You couldn't even see the eyes. It was like makeup was darkening it, so you can't even see if it was a drow or not.
Yeah, I'll stay right there as a bonus action. I'll put my back into the door. That's not gonna work there. So let me just cast Fireball at this guard.
Fireball?
Bolt.
Okay.
Come on, John. don't give him ideas.
No, that's not going to hit him.
No, that's not gonna hit.
These guards are wearing very, very powerful armor. It deflects your
keep them.
firebolt.
I'll just keep my body haste braced against the door.
All right, Durak, you're up.
Did that put the damage in?
Yes.
Is he dead?
Nope. He's about to be dead.
So, question. Before I end my turn. I still got movement. Can I jump on top of her?
Sure. That will actually it'll keep you within the out of.
Jump on top of her feet first. Right on her.
Are you doing this in a damaging fashion?
Yes.
Okay, then in that case, you know what? I will automatically give her 2 failed saves to her death saves. Because she is helpless, and if you take damage, you get 2 automatic fails. As you jump over and stomp on her.
Yup.
Where did you jump? Her face or her stomach? Oh.
Does it matter?
Well, yeah, I think it could.
Potentially, yes.
Hey, I'll jump on her stomach. She's pregnant, right?
Yeah. Ooh, that is cruel. You have earned your evil. You have earned your evil alignment if you jump on her stomach.
That's what I did.
Oh. Finally, some evil shit.
That is some serious evil shit.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. Okay, Malice has 2 fails and 2 successes on her death saves at this point. I'm going to roll this. This will determine if she lives or dies.
Give her a flash of genius, which gives her +5.
Oh, you want her to live? Okay.
No, what are you doing?
It's up to you guys. I'll give her a.
I give it +5.
Okay, I will roll her with a +5 on her Constitution.
I say, what are you doing, dude?
She stabilizes with that plus. Well, she would have stabilized anyway, but she manages to stabilize.
We are absolutely fucked if she dies with us killing her guards. You don't even understand, man.
Either way, we're fucked. But that's all right. I'll take care of it next turn.
Alric, you're up. The problem is, you won't have a next turn. They're gonna get it. They might bust in.
Well, there's the wall of force.
And they might not.
Do they have a way to bypass the wall of force? You don't know. But Thalric, you're up.
Wow. All right. Well, that missed. The vampiric touch.
These guys have an insanely high armor class. That's why your attacks are missing.
It's a +10. Actually, would a 14 have hit or no?
No.
Okay, because it should have been an 11, but sure. And then spiritual weapon.
25 hits.
Okay.
Malice's guard, even though you just stomped on Malice's body, he's going to attack you.
Of course.
That is a hit. Luckily, you resist just about all of this. That is a pathetic miss. That is also a hit that you resist. And we're up to Kargas.
Kargas will try to finish off this fringy hair. Give him a hair trim. With one swing of a miss. Next one's a hit. Hopefully it might do him in. There you go.
That's the end of him.
I will then jump onto the table and try to do one more hit on this other guy. I think we gotta figure out something soon, guys. I hear him coming. And then...
Malice is guard number 5. Since there's 3 of you, he's going to split his attack between the 3 of you. 1 attack each. Scimitar for Durak. Hit. Scimitar for Kargas. Miss. And Scimitar for Balric.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Fucking do it.
He's got, before he dies, he has to bring the most pain possible.
Yeah, to me.
So, at the beginning of this turn, you hear somebody, Daga, somebody's banging at the door behind you. Let us in! Let us in! What's going on in there?
Probably not a good idea to let him in where Durak's on top right now.
First sister! First sister, answer us! Open the door! You're up, Daga.
You saying something, Daga?
He attacked this guard here.
Yeah, this guard is on his last breath.
Well, let's make sure he goes down.
He most definitely is gonna go down.
With my haste attack, I'm going to touch Malice with my spell storing pick and give her healing.
While I'm standing on top of her.
It's gonna be very awkward. Oh, you guys are out of combat, and Malice is actually stable.
We're not out of combat. Oh, no. We're not out of combat.
Oh, you're not.
Oh, no.
Well, you're gonna have to have a discussion because Daga's sitting there healing Malice.
He's healing the guard.
Oh,
No, that was the wrong.
yeah, that was a mistake. I understand that. That was a mistake.
What? Let me know when it's my turn.
Well, the thing is, at this point, you know, Daga just healed Malice, so she's starting to come to, and you're stepping on her stomach.
Good. I step off.
I think you guys are committed at this point because she woke up and saw you.
Well, I attack her. I hit her.
She has 7 hit points.
Oh, good. She's gonna feel every one of them. That's the first attack.
She's dead. Well, you're not dead. She goes down again.
Okay.
If you attack her 2 more times, both our attacks are automatic crits. They're both with advantage, and 2 attacks will end her life.
Well, here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
They ain't in yet. I'm gonna grab a scimitar from the dead body,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna chop her head off.
Okay. You can do that and just end her life. She's done.
I want to decapitate her.
Okay.
Then she's decapitated.
Malice's head rolls right into right onto your feet, Daga.
Heal her now.
At this moment, are we out of combat?
You are out of combat, and there's banging at the door. Let us in! First Sister Malice!
Before we open that door, can I use my hit dice to heal?
No, you need an hour.
Was that that's an hour?
Yeah, it's a short rest.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Okay.
Unless you have some ability that automatically gives you...
No, I'm just trying to figure out what I could do to heal myself right now before we open the door.
You can drink a potion or something. I don't know. Cast a spell.
I yelled through the guard. I yelled through the door. I walked up to the door. I yelled through the door. She wants to speak to Jezra. No one else. Get Jezra.
A voice from the other side of the door yells back, "Is everything okay in there? We're hearing the swords and battle."
Well, the battle's over. She's hurt and she wants to talk to her sister.
I need a persuasion.
Awesome. -1 on the persuasion.
I'm gonna heal
Yes,
myself.
but you rolled pretty damn high. That should have been in the tower, but I'll accept it. He says.
I'm sorry.
So the guard on the other side of the door says, "Right away, then." And he says, he says, "Is everything okay in there?"
No, she's hurt. She wants to speak to her sister.
So you hear the guard scamper off to go get Jezra. So you guys have a little bit of a breathing room to figure out what to do.
Does somebody want to heal me?
If I have a way to get a fucking spell slot back, yeah.
Well, I have.
You can't have. You could not have possibly used all your spell slots.
Well, I only have certain spell slots for certain level spells. I just cast heal 6th level spell on myself for 70 hit points since I had like 81 out of 107. Yeah, if you got a potion, I ran out, so.
That's what I just did. I just took a potion.
You don't have cure wounds prepared?
No, I don't get cure wounds. Actually, I do have cure wounds.
Cure wounds can occupy any of your spell slots, depending on what level you cast it. Cure wounds or healing word, they can occupy any of your spell slots. You can upcast it to any spell slot. It starts off as a level 1.
John, how long do we wait? The only reason is I have Ring of Regeneration.
Yeah, but that's like every 10 minutes.
Well, that's why I'm asking. How long are we gonna, or do we wait for?
Oh, I'm about to tell you.
Don, give yourself your 15 points, or did you get it?
I got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm letting you guys finish up whatever healing stuff you want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you cure wounds, which is I'll do a 4th level spell slot for cure wounds, which is where is this shit? 1d8.
I gotta chug a potion of healing.
John, I want to yell out the door. Is anybody still out there?
So, yes, we're getting second sister Jezra.
Bring. They poisoned her. Bring some potions.
I hope that helps a little bit.
27.
Yeah, I had already applied.
Okay.
I hope it helps.
Well, yeah, they kicked the shit out of me. And I don't know how. I don't think it was full health.
You want to tell us your plan?
Who, me?
Whatever.
She's dead. Jezra wanted her dead. She's dead.
She's most definitely dead.
Well, what's your plan on getting out of this?
Jezra.
No, I get what you're saying. You want her to make the call. Someone of higher status.
Yeah, look, Jezra was supposed to get us our hammer. That's all I care about. It's getting our hammer back.
Your anvil.
Anvil.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
And,
if Jezra gives us a hard time, we'll kill her too. Or if the least we take her hostage and we escape.
There you go.
I'm planning on escaping, by the way. That's the plan part I want to know. What's your escape plan here? Because Ratka was gonna kill her.
I could teleport us out. Don't worry.
See, there you go. Plan solved.
So on the other side of the door, you hear, "This is second
Wait,
sister Jess."
John?
Yeah,
John, before you get to that part, can I talk to the vampire?
sure.
I want to ask her if she's all right.
She looks at you and she says, "Better than ever."
Do you need a feed?
She says, "I don't feed. Not yet."
Okay, because there's a baby right there, but if not, we could hold off.
I say to Jezra, only you can come in. She only wants to see you.
Jezra says, "Open the door."
I open the door.
You open the door and Jezra steps through.
I shut the door.
And the door, of course, is shut behind her, and Jezra just sees the absolute carnage that you have wrought. She looks at first, and she's in absolute complete shock. And then her eye kind of goes over and focuses on Malice's decapitated head on the ground. You see a big smile on her face. And then she looks at all of you. And she says, "You've done this well." Jezra says, "Play along." As Jezra raises her hand, and all the spider emblems activate, and all the doors just kind of all of a sudden open. And you see outside is a dozen guards and driders and drow sorcerers, all kind of converging in. And Jezra kind of steps out in front of them. She stands in front of them, and she says, "Great treachery! What foulness is this? They have entered a drow the temple of Lolth and assassinated the first sister, Malice Nearth." As she belted out, like she starts giving a howl, and everybody else is just in shock. Like, no, this can't be. He says, "How is it even possible that they have broken through our defenses and done this?" And she says, "Get me the head of security now." And you see all the guards scramble, and then they bring forth an elderly drow male. And she looks at the drow male, and she says, "Captain Sparris," she says, "look what your incompetence hath wrought." And he says, "No, my lady!" And he drops to his feet. He apparently is fiercely loyal to Malice. He drops to his feet, like in absolute shame. She says, "You have failed us for the last time, Sparris." And she raises her hand and she says, "The first sister Malice Nearth is dead. The favor of Lolth passes to me." And as she says this, you see actually a swirl of magical energy comes out of Malice's dead body. And this swirl just kind of drifts over, and you see Jezra's eyes begin to light up. She says, "By the power of Lolth, I punish you to suffer the eternal torments of the Spider Queen." She points at the poor head of security, Sparris. And you see he drops to the ground, writhing in absolute pain and agony as his body begins to kind of involve itself, and you can see that there's these things coming out of his chest, like this blood splits out and things that looks like alien. These things rip out of his chest, and you realize they're legs. As Sparris begins morphing, His body elongates. His arms, his leg. He grows an extra 6 pairs of legs, and he turns into a drider. As his half of his body turns into a spider. He says, "You will serve me in the cruelty of Lolth, where your pathetic body could not." And you see a new drider gets born out of Spirus. And then Jezra looks around. She looks at all of you, and you can. She almost kind of gives you a wink and a smile as she looks at everybody else. She says, "An assassination on House Neearth will not stand." She says, "I do not know who is responsible for this, but their bodies will burn in the pyres of the demon web pits." She says, "Whoever is responsible will be discovered, but I can assure you it is probably one of these foul cults, these abominations that litter Eryndlyn." She says, "At this time, we can do nothing else but declare war." She looks to everybody else. "Arm yourselves and leave us." So she waves her hand and the doors close once again.
And you guys were worried.
I think that Durak, you took a big chance in doing that. It was a big risk, but it has absolutely paid off for you guys. You get an inspiration for being so horribly evil and cruel that you would stomp on a dead baby.
So, but wasn't dead. It sure is now.
Now it's dead. It's gone. You've destroyed the body to the point where it can't really be raised, and also, it is such a shameful death that Lolth would not approve of you resurrecting Malice. Lolth approves of this change, this power shift that Jezra has obtained. Jezra looks at the 4 of you and she says, "Tell me what happened."
What?
Says,
Before we go, think you can heal?
Jezra comes over to you, and she casts her highest level of heal, which is the heal spell. You go back to full health.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, funny thing, we were having a conversation with her, and an assassin popped out from behind her.
An assassin here?
I'm Lord. Yeah. He was invisible. Popped out, stabbed her from behind a couple times, and did some magic stuff to her guards, because her guards then started attacking us. And they didn't look like they were in their right mind, you know what I mean?
She says, she looks around and she says, "This is incredible. I had not thought any force could break our defenses. If they can assassinate Malice with such ease, none of us are safe." She says, "What I said is true. We must discover who did this. We must. This is just as big of a threat as Malice was."
So what do you want to do with the vampire girl?
She turns around. She's like, "What? How has she risen again?" And Raka turns to her and smiles. "Why, hello, sister."
I look at her and say, "Well, Malice wanted to see her, and yeah, he revived her."
Jezra looks at her and says, "We may be taking a large risk in doing this, but do you believe we can harness her power?" He says,
Absolutely.
says, if we can harness her power, we can eliminate the other cults. But she says, "But we must know which cult did this." Says, "Are there any clues as on the bodies, or as to how this has happened or come to pass?"
We haven't had a look yet.
"Well, let's investigate then, shall we?"
Come on, gang.
Wait,
Let's Scooby-Doo this shit.
Investigation.
Well, what are you investigating? First of all,
Hey, Durak, I'm adding guidance. Durak, I'm adding guidance.
Durak, what are you investigating specifically?
I didn't even mean to do that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You said investigate. I was trying to.
Oh yeah,
pull
she didn't say roll investigate. She's just like let's try to find out how this came to pass.
I'm investigating the guards. Any marking thing on them that put a spell on them.
So
Drop a D4.
And I'll look at the poison. I'll try and figure out what the poison is.
So, Durak, you turn the guards over a couple of times. You kind of strip them down, take a look at their bodies. You don't find any specific markings, but you do notice that there appears to be some weird-looking rash on their legs, all of them.
All right, so I tell her I found a rash on their leg.
Jezra kind of looks at it and says, Do any of you know what this is? I haven't seen this before.
As a cleric, would I have any idea? Is there a roll you want me to do?
A medicine roll would give you some idea. Although Jezra is a cleric, her medicine skills are not working right now.
Guidance or not guidance? Sorry, tower or open?
These are generally towered. All the skill checks.
Okay.
I'd like to do a nature roll on the rash. Would that?
I would also accept the nature roll. Yes, actually.
1 second. I'm gonna roll mine. Going to my cantrips right now.
And if that's not a good roll, John, I'd like to use my inspiration. One of my inspirations to do another roll.
You realize that this rash is fungal in origin.
Fungi.
Yeah, it's sort of like athlete's foot, but every single one of these guards has the exact same rash in the same place. So, Thaurik, you had a fantastic roll here. So you realize that these guards were infected by some sort of fungus. This is why the magical wards did not detect any sort of alteration to their abilities or brain or not alterations, because it wasn't a magic. It was some sort of infection that has caused these guards to be to act the way they did. You have to examine the brain.
I look at her and I say, "My lady, I can probably figure out what this is. It's a fungus of some sort, but I would need to examine the brain for further information."
She nods at you. Do it.
Right now?
Yes, right now. We need answers. She says, we don't know if these assassins are going to attack us again.
Alright, how do you want me to... This is me asking you, John.
Yeah.
How do you want me to do that? Swing my hammer? Or, like...
Your dagger.
You hand me a dagger? Okay.
Come on, Gallagher, this shit.
Well, dude, I smash the skull right open, then you.
Well, yeah, but I could damage the brain, no?
It's a very crude way to do it.
They're already dead.
Fucking Baldur's Gate. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna slam it with the hammer. Pop that sucker open.
You smash one of the skulls with a hammer, and unfortunately the brain is complete mush after you do that, but it is still useful enough for you to you open up the brain and you look at the brain tissue and you realize that there's a fungus mixed into the brain tissue. So this fungus has infected them and infected their brains, thus causing them to behave in this way. So this assassination attempt involved them being infected with some sort of fungus that has dominated their brains.
Do I know the origin though? Like is this?
Oh yeah, nature roll can help.
You want me to roll that?
Whoever has the highest, because I guess you tell everybody this, and whoever has the highest nature roll, you get that one roll.
Yeah, I would tell everybody that.
No, we don't do 4 rolls. We just do 1 roll for this.
I got a +5 for nature.
Who's got the highest nature roll?
Same here. +5.
I got 0.
But I'll also use my inspiration to get advantage on it.
All right.
Rolling in the tower.
I got you.
Oh, Durak, you know very well of something that can cause this kind of an infection. There's only one thing that can do this: a myconoid.
Do it.
You knew it right. You know right away because you've encountered these horrible creatures before. There's plenty of them hanging out in the fungal forest. Yeah, but myconoid usually would not be doing something as complex as a high-level assassination. That you also know. They will like to they do like to dominate people for their living tissue, so they can add it to their colonies. But they don't usually plot these advanced political things. So it can't just be any run-of-the-mill myconoid. It has to be something, some sort of deep plot going on.
So I told Jezra.
Jezra's eyes open wide. She says, "Who can harness?" She says, "We have tried so many times to harness the power of these myconoids, and yet someone has succeeded." She says, "It is without a doubt. It has to be the cult of Gaunator." So as you all recall, there's the 3 powers inside Eryndlyn. Is the
Ooze cult. The ooze cult.
Yes, it's this ooze cult. Jezra is completely certain on. She's certain, and she looks at you and she says, "In order to project strength, for in slaying a matron mother, slaying a matron of a drow house, weakens our perception among the entire people of Eryndlyn, and we at this time, for us to consolidate our power, we must project strength. Therefore, I must declare war, and I will declare war on the cult of Gaunator." She says, "Previously it is a difficult match. We were on equal terms, but I believe that if we can harness the power of this soul rivener, we can turn the tide." So Jezra turns around to Radka, and she says, "Soul rivener." She says, "Whom do you serve?" And then Radka says, "Well, it looks like I serve you now, mistress." Jezra's eyes are kind of squinted. She has her insight's very high, and she's highly suspicious. And she says, "What are your capabilities, Soul Rivener?" And Radka says, "All the dead, all the slain, all the murder. I can feel it. I can hear them. Can you hear them too? The creatures of the night? They are everywhere. They are all inside of me. They are all part of me. They are all me. One word and they will rise." And Jezra looks at the 4 of you. She says, "I'm not so sure this is a good idea. I don't know the power that we would be harnessing." She looks at you for any kind of for advice. Now that you see that the fact that you have led to the death of Malice, you have most of her trust. So you can convince her to do this or not. She's looking at you for. Should I harness this power?
Absolutely.
Well, I got a question. Why would she be looking at...
What?
I just find it hard to believe she'd be looking at us outsiders if she should harm.
The reason she wasn't treating you like this earlier, but the reason she's doing it now is because of the things that you've accomplished. She knows that you are very powerful and formidable at this point, and she wants your trust because she wants your loyalty. So and you can tell that she is actually herself very torn about unleashing this power. It doesn't come from Lolth. It's a power entirely alien and different, and it's a dangerous thing for her to play with. But she's looking at you to see if you can convince her that she can harness it.
My queen, if you think you can handle it, do it.
You can try. You can roll persuasion. She looks unsure.
Persuasion. Yeah, that's that -1 charisma there, baby.
I forgot the guidance.
Alright.
Oh, I'm sorry. You also have advantage because of your standing with her.
So
You roll it again?
Yeah.
Ah!
It appears that she seems to be convinced with your reassurance. She says, very well. She turns around and she says, Radka? And the Soul Ravener turns to her, yes, mistress. I need you to raise an army of undead. I need you to direct them to the southeastern plateau of Eryndlyn. And I need you to kill everyone. Radka says, your wish is my command, mistress. And you can see Radka, her eyes start lighting up as she floats into the air and spreads out her arms. And immediately, you guys can tell there's a weird mist starts kind of spreading out of her body. As the mist passes through you, you feel a chill. As Radka harnesses her power to summon undead, the mist spreads out from her point, out into the hallway and out of the temple. And Jezra says, "For better or worse, it is done. But in the meantime, she says, in the meantime, we must find out where this fungus is originated. How could they harness this kind of power?"
Well, they probably either worked with the colony or acquired it some other way. Most likely through violence.
So Jezra says, if I can turn the balance of this war and defeat one of our two foes, she says, that will make House Nearth more powerful than it has been in 50 years. She says...
So is she House Nearth, like bloodline?
Yes.
Okay, and what is the city that we're in right now?
Eryndlyn.
Eryndlyn, and is that led by House Nearth?
It was until these two cults sprang up, and now there's a lot of battling.
Conflict, yeah.
Yeah, but it originated with House Nearth. It's just that the actual official matron mother has not been around for many years, and nobody really knows where the matron mother is. And then Jezra says, "How long will it take to raise the undead?" And Radka says, 3 days. He says, "All right, then we have some time to think."
Well, Jezra, why don't you send one of your spies in there and see what's going on in that cult?
She says, Jezra says, "That's a good idea." She says, we can always use more eyes and ears. And Jezra says, she says, "You have done exceedingly well today. I had not even anticipated that you can destroy the greatest obstacle to my ascension." She says, but it appears luck is upon us, and your rewards will be forthcoming.
Jezra?
Yes.
Do you trust us?
She says, "It appears I do."
I understand your new title comes with new power. Is it true?
She says, "To be the chosen of Lolth is both power and responsibility."
What is the likelihood, since we've come this far serving you? You've seen the leaps we've taken and the lines that we've crossed to serve you. What is the likelihood of anointing us to some degree to let us utilize these weapons? And I point to the dead the dead guards' weapons on the ground.
So Jezra picks up one of the drow's scimitars, and she says, "Drow adamantine, She says, the decree of Lolth herself is that only drow can wield these. She says, but exceptions can be made by the matron mother. And Jezra says, she says, that is the last step to my ascension. Now that I've destroyed my sister, there's only one place for me to go, and that is to my mother. She says, once my mother is dead, I will do whatever I wish. If it is drow adamantine you wish to wield, then it will be yours.
We'd also love to find the anvil at some point.
She says, wherever the anvil is probably directly in the hands of my mother, the matron mother.
You said you need to go to her. Does that mean you know where she is?
I do. The matron mother has been on a hiatus. This is not known to many, but now that you are my direct cohorts and my direct servants, I can tell you, the matron mother is within the demon wet pits, serving Lolth firsthand. That is why she is not present with us. But I can call her back when the time is right, and when she is ready to die.
Will she go down without a fight?
Absolutely not. She says, but if I solidify my power in Eryndlyn, and Lolth sees what I have done, Lolth's favor will pass to me completely. My mother will be powerless. And you can see a flash of this power-hungry, maniacal look comes upon her face. And she also takes off her cloak, right? This is just for you, Daga, because she wants you on board too. She takes off her cloak, and you can see her magnificent body in her spider mini bikini. As she sits down, she crosses her legs and uncrosses her legs, looking at you, Daga, just to make sure that you're all on board with her.
He's like, "Are you on board, my little gnome?"
So she says, so it'll take 3 days to raise this army. She says, then we'll just have to wait. But in the meantime, she claps her hands, and the bottom door opens, and she says, "Triss." And you guys see poor Triss, who's a concubine servant drow, run up, and he says, "Yes, second sister." And Triss, you guys can't help but notice that Triss sees Malice's head on the floor as well, and Triss also flashes a smile, trying to hide it. Looks like you made a lot of people happy today. And Jezra says, "Triss, go to our coffers, get 20,000 gold, and bring it to me." And Triss runs off. A couple of minutes later, Triss comes back, and he's got this little bag of holding, and he empties the bag of holding, and this endless waterfall of gold just piles out onto the table. And she says, "I know it is but a paltry sum for the monumental accomplishments you have achieved today, but I hope that this will help. This will ease the small wounds you've suffered in destroying my my beloved sister." Gives you 20,000 gold. I'll
5 each.
Yes. Unfortunately, Larry gets none because he's not here.
Unfortunately,
what are the two cults that are threatening House Nair?
One cult is the cult of Gauntador. This is the Ooze cult, and this is the cult that Jezra says she's sure is responsible for this assassination. The fact that they broke into the Drow Temple means they're a serious threat, even to her. So she needs to take them out. And she's sending the undead army after them, but it's going to take 3 days. The other cult is the cult of male drow, Bewildering, which Triss is secretly a member. but her attention's not focused on them right now. All right, I will distribute a whole bunch of gold for all you guys.
Do you want us to look into the ooze cult and as a vanguard to the assault?
She says,
sure we're utilizing forces correctly.
She looks at you and she says, that is exactly what I was thinking, but we need more information. I'd hate to send you into a trap. She says, that is why I will kill everyone within vicinity of the cult first, and then from the ashes we will find our clues.
We able to go to a store in this city?
Yeah, store's open. You have 3 days to shop. She dismisses you. You can do whatever you'd like.
I go with my brother and say, let's go shopping. And, and I'm just going to open up the store.
Can you drop one of those scimitars in my inventory since I have it hiding in
Yeah.
my bag of holding?
Yeah, so for your purposes, it's a +3 scimitar. Let me... I'm gonna make the item. It's also adamantine, of course, so I have to add that property. Press it. Magic. Okay, I put it in your inventory.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's called Drow Adamantine Scimitar +3.
Hey, Duroc, you want to explain to me about this anvil? Since you seem to be willing to throw my life away for it, I would like to know a little about it to see if I can help you, and if so, what terms we can come to. I take it it's a family heirloom of some sort.
Not just a family. My whole tribe, or whatever you want to call us. Clan. Go ahead, you tell him, LJ.
Well, I don't know if John told me the importance of this anvil, truthfully.
I kind of made it up on the spot. I don't know how much I told you, but here's the thing with the anvil. So, you as Djergar, you're very much like regular Sorcerous dwarves. You love to forge things. You love to dig underground. You like to build fortresses. So part of your connection with forging, with forgecraft, and with the magical weave is through these artifacts, these special dwarven artifacts. One of the most powerful dwarven artifacts is like the anvil, and using this anvil, your entire clan harnesses the magic of your forgecraft and creates these powerful magical items. So once the anvil is stolen, your clan has gone into really destitute times because they no longer possess that innate magic, that innate magic that is contained inside the anvil. These anvils are usually bequeathed upon you by your gods, so it's not something you can just make another one. So the fact that you lost the anvil oftentimes makes your clan so destitute that over time your clan can't keep itself together. You can't create the magical items that you sell to make money, so oftentimes that will destroy your clan. Your clan just dissipates because it can no longer hold itself together. So it's the heart of your clan.
And I tell all of that to Daga so he fully understands the importance of it and how it can definitely and how it can benefit us, and perhaps if he and Kargas help us, perhaps we can come to an agreement and allow them to utilize it if we can retrieve it.
No, we can make something for them. We're not going to let them use it.
That's what I mean. We could make something.
Yeah, Daga, I mean, this sounds great to you just because of your tinkering ways. I mean, it sounds pretty nice. You know, that much arcane power just held in one artifact. You know, usually your guard would not let any people who are not in their clan anywhere near their anvil.
That's why I just said we'd make something.
Yeah. I could make something for him. I have proficiency in smith tools. I've been a smith my entire life prior to a fighter, or not a fighter, but a cleric. You know.
Yeah, I mean, as we're in an evil campaign, I am actually neutral with evil personality. But I can respect clan, I can respect magical crafting, so I have a sense of being on board with helping you with that, but not to the point of shedding my life. So just let me explain this one thing. If you are going to do something like you did with Malice, please speak out. It worked out, but
you're lucky. You're very lucky.
Yeah,
Fortunate.
That was hair thin. So.
No, but he did something very, very extremely smart. Is that he called for Jezra alone. If all the guards had busted in and saw this scene, you might be looking at rerolled characters. And that's a combat I don't even want to run. I mean, come on. It's not fun. It's not a fun combat when I'm sitting there with 30 enemies that I know you're gonna die from.
So I'll extend my hand and offer assistance, but I am in it for profit. I can guarantee that you cannot craft anything that I would want.
I thought you were in it for the drow ass.
I don't think you would be able. I mean, John, what is your opinion on that? Because he's saying that his crafting abilities are better than the anvils.
Maybe I don't know what the artificer gets at epic levels. I don't know.
Well,
maybe
I mean, we're only level what? 13.
Level 13 is already beyond what most campaigns reach.
Yeah, but I would imagine that this anvil can create.
Well, Daga, let's put it this way. Even your abilities, no matter how great they are, if you find artifacts that enhance your abilities, they become even greater. So this is this kind of situation. It's not like it's not like we match you against the anvil, but the anvil's a tool.
Yes.
So the dwarves themselves have their own artificers. And likewise, it's just an incredibly powerful tool that when they channel their abilities through it, they accomplish amazing acts.
There we go.
So that's the way I'll put it. It's not like it's you. That doesn't make sense because the anvil itself can't do anything. It's you have to use it.
That's why I said my crafting is better than yours, because even if he's got Smith plus.
All right, sure, but you're not going to be able to create something the anvil could with. I mean you could, but you don't have the ability to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Agree. So I will extend my hand and offer help on a for-profit basis.
You guys are absolutely profiting. You just got a big bag of gold for each. Making little baby steps towards you.
I think we're all on the same page here. With that being said, you're right. We should discuss these things, but I think it was a heat of the moment decision, and it worked out. And it could have went the other direction, but when he attacked, when he jumped on her and then you healed her, that was doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even say I have a plan or I have an idea. Run with it. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt from the adventures we've been on, and the fact that you've helped and saved me and whatever, so you've got some respect there. But when you just do something and just go, ha ha ha, I killed a baby, that seems even more. Again, I'm neutral with evil tendencies, so evil is still a little evil to me.
Oh, first I did say don't let him in and ask for Jezra. And I thought So, you guys,
why I didn't attack you.
there's when you're in the heat of a battle, you don't have a discussion like that. And I told you guys not to heal her, but you guys should have used some thought behind that. Okay, he's planning on killing her. I said, do not heal her. Do not heal her. So that's
okay. All right. Well, yeah.
We could communicate a little better. That's all for everybody. Or because sometimes it's hard to hear people when the mic cuts out or whatever too. So it could have been like that.
I heard it. It seemed like you were. I didn't see an end game out of this other than, we interlopers are asking for, a high-level drow mistress to come here. Like, who would fucking believe us? That's my mindset. It's like,
yeah,
but even if the guards come in, they're gonna blame us anyway. They're gonna say, "Oh, you killed the guards and you killed her because the assassin wasn't there." So we're gonna get blamed for it either way. So we'd
have to revive her, and that's kind of counterintuitive right now.
Yeah, my thought was, okay, we bring her up. This Radka's still already in her, got her claws in her. So it's just a little bit more of a waiting game, and we're going to get favor for saving her as much. And ultimately, I thought we would still achieve our goal of having Radka already, set her talons in her power grip and go from there. But I mean, it worked out. So, but that was my mindset. It's like, that's a sure, we get her up. She knows it wasn't us that attacked her, and she's like, "You saved me. Here's 100,000 gold, not just 20."
I thought I was under the impression we were all helping Jezra when she.
Don't forget, she's also chaotic evil, and she would expect us to save her, so that we could have gotten none as well. I mean, she could have also said, "Hey, you're in on this too, and I don't want to take any chances. Guards that come in afterwards, they take us and try and kill us." You know what I mean? It could go any certain types of ways. Because, like John said, this chick kills people just because of the way they look sometimes.
Oh, all right. So listen, let me put it this way, okay? In this campaign, you guys are allowed to be evil. You guys are allowed to fight. You guys are allowed to kill each other. Inter-party conflict is fine. However, inter-player conflict is something that we gotta at least address. So I think that what Dagger's saying, more so him as a player, not as his character, is that if you make a decision without consulting the group when you're kind of on the same group, and then you kind of funnel everything towards the group, he's saying, well, the next time out of character you can have a discussion, say, hey, listen, my character is going to do this. Is that a little bit more kind of where we're at, Dagger?
Trevor, as a player, I'm fine. I understand the parameters of the event, so I have no issues one way or another. Dagga's very self. So, and that's his evil line, is self. So,
self-preservation.
He doesn't want to die just because this guy says, I want this anvil. That's all that matters.
Exactly, and this I try to keep this adventure open where it's your you have the ability to do what you want to do if you're smart enough to get away with it. If you had killed Malice, chopped her head off, and then opened the doors for her guards, you guys wouldn't have survived that. But the fact that you specifically wanted only Jezra to come in here, you knew that Jezra was going to come in here and defend you because you knew exactly what Jezra wants. Jezra wants Malice dead. She just doesn't know when's the right time to do it, and this was the perfect opportunity. And you returned to the Drow Temple 3 days later.
You're saying all this and someone just went to walk their dog, right?
No, he's still here.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So within these 3 days, you discover that a horde of ghouls, and I'm talking hundreds of ghouls. Doesn't matter how powerful you are, they will overwhelm you. Hundreds of ghouls set on upon Eryndlyn. They ripped apart every living soul that they could find in the southwest plateau of Eryndlyn, utterly eliminating every living thing there. So anything that survived must have been captured or hid. The streets run red with blood as the ghouls spilled bodies, leaving entrails all over the ground. And they just an absolute mess as they rip the whole place apart. The population of Eryndlyn goes down by like a third, just because of the amount of people that were killed. It is absolutely devastating. All at the same time, Jezra sits on her outward-facing throne on the top of the spire of the Temple of Lolth. She kind of sits there like a cruel tyrant, and she's sitting there in demonstration of her power, as everybody sees how evil and powerful she is. They begin to, everybody is speaking about her in hushed tones because they fear her, and she now has the favor of Lolth. So Eryndlyn is the very architecture of Eryndlyn has drastically changed as the entire population of the cult is wiped out. Now people are very much afraid of Jezra. Her power level has increased. Her stature has increased. Nobody talks to her except with absolute reverence. It appears that you guys have succeeded in putting her on a throne. The only one last obstacle to her absolute domination is her mother Lythrana, which is traveling the plains. You come 3 days later, and Jezra is just delighted to see you as she's sitting upon her spider throne. And Jezra says, "Bring the prisoner." And some drow guards bring over this one guard that one person that they've captured. Apparently, this guy, they kept him alive because he is the previous leader of the cult of Gaunatur. They bring him completely chained up. He has multiple stab wounds. He has a whole bunch of sharp objects poked inside of him, just being constantly tortured. And they throw him on his knees in front of you. And that's what we will pick up next time. This is Kles Dilspar, the leader of the Ooze cult.
Jake?
And this